All right, now we're recording, and I'm about to give us a mute. You're gonna see me move my laptop because I need to get it up a little higher so that you can see me on the floor. And I'm gonna do that right now. Okay. And it should have a pretty good view of me right there. All right, beautiful people, I'm gonna go to my mat. Okay. Oh, I didn't mute. Let me mute you out here. Can everyone still hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. All right, so I've muted you, but you can still hear me, right? Got audio? Good? Yeah? Good? Okay. All right. So I have my phone with me, and the reason why is that whenever we practice Kundalini, we time the exercises. They're timed. So I'm setting the timer right now so that I can have that ready. So if you see me doing that, that's why. Throughout the class, you will be encouraged to close the eyes and so forth, but I want to get us tuned in before I go much any further. Last thing I want to say is make sure that if you do need your props, they're handy. Okay? Let's rub the palms together. Just create a little heat, a little friction between the palms. And now bring your thumbs to your chest, lifting the chest upwards. Tuck the bottom of the chin towards your throat as if you were going to give yourself a little bit of like a double chin. Not to the place of being tense. Just pull in Jala Bandha. Elongate your spine. We're going to chant Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. I put that information in the chat. If you are uncomfortable with chanting, just listen along, okay? Let's close the eyes and take an inhale breath. And an exhale breath. Take an inhale. Let's exhale the chant. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. One more. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Hold your focus and suspend your breath. Exhale. All right, very nice. Let's bring the hands down to the knees. We're just going to do a couple warm-ups before we begin the Kriya. Start by circling around. This is called stir the pot. It's also called the Sufi grind, but stir the pot sounds so much better. You inhale as your chest comes around to the front. Exhale, pressing the chest down and towards the back. Not necessarily down, but just towards the back. Also try to encourage your body to go far over to the right and left side. Remember to inhale as your chest comes forward, exhale as the chest goes towards the back, and now close your eyes. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Stirring the pot is an excellent exercise, if you will, posture, movement that stimulates digestion. Can often help settle a stomach, upset stomach. Notice the direction that you're going and now change. Inhaling chest forward and exhale, chest back and circle around.
Just to confirm, you'd like to hear the song Circle Back Around?
No, stop. Stop, Alexa. Alexa wanted to join in, I guess. Now inhale, come to neutral center, shoulders stacked over hips. Take a deep inhalation and suspend the breath and hold the focus. And now exhale. Open the eyes, come to all fours. A little cat and cow here. Spreading the fingers wide, arms are shoulder distance apart, knees hip distance apart. Inhale, chin up, tail up, belly down. And then exhale, round your spine, tucking the chin, lifting the pubic bone. Move at your own pace and breathe deeply. If you'd like to close the eyes, close the eyes. Start withdrawing your senses inward, practicing pratyahara. Inhale, come to neutral. And from here, turn your toes under. Now, one of the things in Kundalini yoga is that when you hear, let's take triangle, it's downward facing dog. Okay, that's one of the things. My first class, I started going to triangle, everybody else went into downward dog. All right, so lift your hips up and just walk the heels up and down. Real slow, walk the dog, you will. But the focus is creating the shape of a triangle. Keep the weight back in the legs versus the hands or the wrists. You can press into the fingers, the knuckles of the fingers, and feel the rise of the palms. Hastabandha. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, and walk. Now, bend both knees, lift your hips up high towards the sky, press the thigh bones back and the heels towards the floor, and take a few breaths here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, come down to your knees. You can cross your ankles and bring your legs through and come into a seated position. This is the Kriya for elevation. The mudra we're going to practice is the ego eradicator. It looks like this. Hug all the four fingers into the pad of the hand, but keep the thumb extended out. Okay? So that's the mudra. You can release that for now, because I want to talk about the breath. We're going to practice breath of fire in this Kriya. It's powerfully pumping the stomach. So you place your hand on your stomach and take an inhale. So your stomach goes out. Exhale. Either relax the stomach or draw it in slightly to push the air out, especially just to begin. Inhale, belly out. Exhale, belly in. Now you can start slow. Over time, you may be able to speed it up, speed it up, speed it up, so it would look like this. Work at your own pace. The eyes will close when we begin the Kriya, and the gaze is at the brow point. You'll focus right in between your two eyebrows. Okay? All right, let's hug the fingers into the pad, extend the thumbs out, bring the arms up at about a 60-degree angle. So not too close in, not too far out, about 60 degrees, hold it there. If at any time you need to rest, you can always just bring it down, modify in this position. Close the eyes, gaze at the brow point, take an inhale, and let's begin breath of fire. Plug your thumbs into the sky. And focus at the space above your head now. Going all the way up to the head, from the brow point to the head, top of the head. Draw your chin towards your throat so your spine is long, Jarlan Harbanda. Focus on the area just above your head, in between the hands. Inhale, and draw your thumbs together towards each other until the thumbs touch right at the bed of the thumbs, and stretch up, still holding the breath, sustain. Hold this position, but exhale. Inhale. Stretch the fingers up wide, and exhale the hands down to the knees. And sit still and quiet for just a moment. From the ego eradicator exercise we just practiced, we're going to go into spinal flex. Place your hands in front of your shin and hold on. Inhale the chest forward. Exhale the chest back. So this is your motion. Inhale forward, exhale back. Now the breath is powerful, the movement is powerful, but that's not necessarily speed. It could just be intention. Now, once your spine warms up, you might find that you're able to speed it up a little bit. Keep the chin pulled in towards the throat for Jarlan Harbanda so that your head doesn't dingle-dangle around. Keep it right level. Then close the eyes and gaze at the brow point. And mentally, silently to yourself, inhale. When you come forward, say Sat to yourself and Nam as you go back. Just mentally vibrate the mantra silently. This is excellent stimulation for the fourth chakra, the heart chakra. Spinal flex also promotes flexibility and strength through the spine. Inhale, lifted chest, neutral spine, shoulders over hips. Hold your focus, suspend your breath. Begin to engage the root lock by a gentle contraction of the sphincter. The anus pulls the pelvic floor up, right at the perineum wall, into the navel, all the way up. And exhale. Suspend the breath out for a few seconds. Inhale. Exhale and relax here. Eyes closed and vibrate. Spine twist. Take your arms out long, turn your palms up, and bring your fingers in front of your arms and grip. You can modify by bringing the hands down to the chest if you need. We begin. Inhale to the left, look to the left, exhale to the right, look to the right. Now as you begin, you start off slow, and then you can pick up speed. It's powerful breathing. You'll be gentle with the neck. This spine twist is excellent for all of the chakra alignment. But it especially starts to open up the higher centers with the movement of the head. Powerful breathing, audible breathing. You choose the speed. A few more seconds. Inhale to center. Now suspend your breath, hold your focus at the third eye point, the brow point. Pull the bandhas, root, Uddiyana, Jarlanhara Bandha, Mahabandha, Great Seal. And exhale, hands down. You can practice exhaling breath out, suspend, and then inhale. Breathe normally. Sit quietly. Now let's take our legs out in front. I'm going to turn to the side, but you don't need to. It's just so that you have a better view. And take some windshield wiper blades so that you're just rolling your legs right and left, right and left. So if you're not used to sitting in the cross-legged position, it's a lot in the beginning. So let's bring some circulation to the legs. Do a few pointing and flexing. That'll feel good at the ankles and the calves. You'll notice it there. Point and flex, point and flex. Now start to bring your legs together. If you're familiar with staff pose or Dandasana, you would have that formation of the legs, that kind of posture with the legs. If the hamstrings are tight, you're experiencing any discomfort under the knees, you can always put a pillow underneath the knees or have a soft bend to the knees. Might need to get the fleshy bits out from underneath your sit bones. Take your first two fingers. Let me step up to the camera. You're going to take your first two fingers and your thumbs and grip your big toes. Gripping the big toes. Again, if you need to bend the knees to wrap your fingers around the toes, that's fine. Now your thumb is pressing against your big toe now, and your two fingers are pressing against the mound of the big toe. This stimulates your pituitary gland. It's a reflexology point. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale. As you fold, fold from the hips, lead with the heart, and then be sure to pull Jalandhara Bandha so you're not bouncing your head up and down. Keep a steadiness there. Now we'll begin the exercise, the Kriya. Inhale, exhale down. So it's a pumping action. You're pumping yourself up and then coming down. Holding Jalandhara Bandha so your head doesn't hang. You don't want to break the line, the current of the spine. Close the eyes. Focus at the brow point. Sure to work at your own pace. The breath is powerful, it's audible. You're extending out over the leg, or I should say the legs. Get this going in your breath. Tune into the mantra Sat Nam, inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam, but mentally vibrate it to yourself silently. Few more seconds. Now inhale, lift, and suspend the breath. Hold the focus. Pull your root lock, navel and chin. Exhale, fold. See if you can press all the breath out and even engage the bandhas. Give it a try. Inhale, slight lift. Exhale, you can release the toes, take a comfortable fold, and breathe here. Now start to walk yourself back up. This is Maha Mudra. So it's like great mudra. I'm going to show you the full expression and then give modification so you can choose which one's best for you. I'm going to take my left foot underneath me and sit on the heel in such a way that it's right at the perineum. Now the perineum is in front of the anus, but behind the genitals. Now you may need to put a pillow or blanket underneath your foot. And if you've got something going on with your knees and this is not an appropriate way for you to sit whatsoever, let's come into more of an Ardha Hanumasana, like the half splits. Let's come into this position instead. So everyone has the right leg out. You're either on the left knee with the hips lifted as a modification, or sitting on the heel of the foot, right at the perineum. Okay? Maha Mudra, great mudra. Great, Sil. Now, begin to fold forward. Take the fingers as you had them previously. They wrap the big toe and you squeeze. So if you're upright like this in the modification, you'll just use one hand to squeeze. Just use one. Take a slight fold, pull Jarlan Harbanda because you don't want to hang the head. Keep the head lifted, keep the spine long, and now it's breath of fire. Close the eyes and begin. Inhale and begin. Now, remember, you can do breath of fire slow. Start slow. And then go faster once you get rhythm and get used to it. Gaze is the brow point. The inhale is more passive. It's more of a powerful exhale. Keep squeezing the toe either with one hand or two. Remember the modification. You can always come into that if you need. Inhale. Sustain the breath. Suspend the breath. Hold the focus. Exhale. Release the toe. We go right over to the other side now. So now it's left leg out in front. Here's the modification. One hand wraps the toe, or bring your right foot slightly over to the left so that whenever you sit down, the heel's at the perineum. And keep in mind, you might be able to do it on one side, not the other, and you may want to put a pillow or a blanket underneath your ankle. Take a slight fold at the hips, fingers wrap your big toe, and you squeeze. Close your eyes, focus at the brow point. Take an inhale, and let's begin breath of fire. Please use the modification if that's better for you. Practice with Jarlin Harbunda, the chin lock, pulling the chin in towards the throat so the head doesn't hang. When you squeeze your stomach in, that pushes the air out rapidly. In and out, in and out. Few more seconds. Take an inhale. Suspend the breath and gently engage the bandhas. Pull the root lock, the navel lock, the chin lock. Now exhale. And just try it out. See if you can exhale all the breath out, hold the breath out, and then pull the bandhas in. Inhale. Exhale. Let's come into a comfortable seated position for just a few seconds. And now take your legs out wide. So if you're used to practicing Uttanavishta Konasana, the wide ankle pose, in this particular Kriya, you don't need to go that wide. Now, if it's just super easy for you, then do. But don't feel that that's necessary. You take your first two fingers, as we've practiced previously, and they wrap the big toes again. So find a comfortable wide angle. You know, like Goldilocks porridge, not too hot, not too cold, just right. Inhale to the center, exhale to the left, inhale to the center, exhale to the right. And begin to go back and forth with your breath. The inhale is center, exhale left, inhale center, exhale right. Close the eyes and gaze at the brow point. Breathe in such a way that it's audible. The body likes to hear you breathe. Practice with your chin lock just to help stabilize the spine and avoid it from hanging your head. Inhale to center. Pull the bandhas, suspend the breath. Hold your focus. Exhale, fold. Just a comfortable fold. Relax here for a few breaths. Inhale, lift up. Take your legs a little bit wider, just a little bit. Wrap the toes once again. Inhale, lift, and exhale, fold to the center. Inhale, lift, exhale, fold to the center, and you pump up and down. So with these pumping actions, we're really encouraging the spinal fluid to start moving up the spine. We're waking up, especially here, your lower chakras. First, the second, and into the third. The gaze is the brow point, and mentally vibrate Sat Nam when you lift on your inhale. On the exhale, Nam. Remember the chin lock, everybody, so your head stays steady. Inhale. Lift and pull the bandhas. Hold your focus. Suspend your breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Release the toes. Sit here for just a moment with eyes closed and vibrate. Now we're going to come to our stomach. And we're setting up for a gentle cobra. Now you may want to rock your bottom side to side just to help loosen up the back as you walk your legs together until your toes and heels are touching. So you could practice this in Sphinx pose with the elbows underneath the armpits, the arms out in front, or a cobra position with the hands right around the ribs, shoulder blades down the back. Either way, it's good. You can choose which one you prefer. Sphinx is the modification. Cobra is the full expression. All right, so close the eyes, and it's breath of fire once again. Pull your chin lock so your chin's not jutted forward too much. It's either cobra or sphinx. Feel the pumping action of your stomach against the floor. Gives you some tactile feedback. Be mindful of the chin. Strong legs behind you, squeezing. Inhale, suspend your breath. Exhale, lower down, release the arms and feet, and rest here for just a few breaths. Bring your head and neck neutral, hands underneath the armpits. Press yourself up. Come to all fours. You need to take your hips side to side, look left and right. Maybe a little cat and cow. And then come to a seated position. Shoulder shrugs. Now, when you begin shoulder shrugs, if you're not used to doing them because there's usually so much tension, lactic acid carried in the upper body, you could experience some burning sensation. So if you feel like you need to take a break, you could stop for a little bit and then join in again. The movement is powerful and moves as rapidly as feels comfortable for you. Okay? Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Right? So let's begin. I'll start the timer. Close the eyes. Gaze at the brow point. So we're moving the shoulders now. This means that we're coming up to the higher chakras. This is going to stimulate the fifth chakra. The heart chakra is the bridge between your lower chakras and the upper chakras. Focus on drawing the shoulders upwards as high as you can get them on your inhale, and then exhale them down. Work with the chin lock here so your spine is long from the tail to the neck. Eyes are closed. Focus on the brow as we bring the energy upwards to the sixth and seventh chakras. It's very beneficial on the thymus gland and the lymphatic system as well. Inhale, squeeze up. Arms up and hold here. Hold your focus, suspend your breath. Exhale, relax the arms down. You can hold the breath out, suspend it out for a little bit. Hold the bandhas. Inhale. Relax here. Tune into your breath. Neck rolls. We start to the right. Inhale, right ear over right shoulder, and the head goes along the back. Exhale, left ear over left shoulder, chin comes around to the front. Continue circling around. Eyes closed. Gazing at the brow point. Next time your chin comes around towards your chest, switch directions. That means you'll go to the left. Inhale, left ear over left shoulder and around the back. And exhale as you come around to right shoulder and around to the front. Eyes closed, gaze at the brow point. Neck turns, open up the throat. Helps to balance and align the fifth chakra, the center of communication. When this begins to happen, we also start to open up and stimulate the higher glands in the brain. Next time your chin comes around towards your chest, lift the head, elongate the spine, and tuck the chin in towards your throat. Take an inhale. Suspend the breath, pull the bandhas, and roll the eyes upwards, stimulating the pituitary gland, gazing at the third eye point. Hold the focus and exhale. Breath out, pull bandhas. Inhale. Exhale. Relax here, but keep your focus to the brow point for a few seconds. Inhale, open the eyes. Exhale and breathe normally. So I come into rock pose. So this means I'm sitting in a kneeling position. Now, you may want to put a pillow underneath your body, or if this position is not appropriate for you, then you could stay in the cross-legged position, or if your legs need a break, take them out long for a little while. This is Sat Kriya. It's one of the most popular kriyas that we practice in Kundalini Yoga, and it can be done as a kriya all to itself. If you've never seen it, I'm going to demonstrate it first. Take the hands, and I'm going to step closer in just a moment to show you the grip. This is just going to give you a general overview. Interlace all the fingers, that's called Venus lock. And then I'm going to extend my first finger so it looks similar to a church steeple. And my left thumb's on top. For women, left on top. For the men, it's the right thumb on top. The arms come up overhead and they squeeze in. So this is just a demonstration first. Now I pump the stomach as I say Sat Nam. So I'll take an inhale. Watch my stomach. I'm going to squeeze my stomach in on Sat. Sat. Release it on Nam, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Of course, start slow and pick up speed as you can. So it would begin to sound and look like this. I'm going to close my eyes so that you see it in full expression. Satnam, 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 Satnam. Okay? So modifications. Lifting the arms up overhead gets to be a little too much for you, then bring the hands here, but keep the grip. Just lower the arms down. The grip, I'm going to come closer so that you can see it, is this. First, I interlace the fingers, Venus lock, and then release the index fingers. I have my left thumb on top, men put the right. And on the fingers, always just use whichever finger you identify with the best, okay? That's how we're gonna roll with that. Okay, so we're in rock pose. We'll take Venus lock, extend the fingers, left on top for the girls, right on top for the boys, up overhead and squeeze the arms to your head. Close your eyes, begin to focus at the brow point. Take an inhale, and let's begin. Satnam, 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 Satnam. Keep going. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam. Just let the breath be. Satnam, 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 Satnam. Focus on the navel point. Satnam, 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 Satnam. Keep stretching up. Satnam, 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 Satnam. We got about 45 seconds. Satnam, 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 Satnam. Take an inhalation and squeeze the buttocks, squeeze the energy upwards toward head and hands. Pull the bandhas. Focus on the brow point. And also focus on energy radiating around the navel point. Exhale, but hold the pose. Exhale the breath out. Hold it out for a few seconds. Pull the bandhas. Now inhale. One more time, squeeze, energy upwards. Bring your awareness and focus to the navel. Energy radiating around the navel. Now pull the root lock and pull the energy up. Exhale and bring the hands down, arms down, hands to knees. And sit for just a moment here. Release the legs out from underneath you and roll to your side. And then roll to your back. Palms facing up and legs extended out long. Eyes are closed and rest here. Bring awareness to the rise and the fall of the belly. Inhaling, the belly rises up. And exhale, the belly moves downwards. The feet are rolling out in opposite directions. And relax the feet. And soften the arches. Bring relaxation and softness through your legs into the pelvis, allowing the buttocks to release, the pelvis to open. Softening the abs, the chest, so that the torso on the front relaxes and softens as your stomach and chest rises and falls. With each breath, relax deeper. Feel the softness around the buttocks and the tailbone, and allow that softness to move up the spine, softening the kidneys and the adrenal glands, the muscles along the spine and around your shoulder blades. Release. Softness is coming up and around the back of the shoulders and the neck, and down the back of the arms and hands. Soften across the chest and the collarbones. And allow that softness to go through the top of the arms and down through the hands. Soften and relax the front of the neck and swallow, releasing the jaws and the tongue. And the lips are soft. The skin of the face releases and softens. And the eyes sink down in the sockets. Relax the outer ears and allow the outer ears to soften all the way down into inside the neck. And swallow again. Allow the scalp to soften, relax, giving yourself permission to relax deeply and take rest. Begin to bring some movement, gentle movement into the hands and into the feet. Take some deep breaths in through the nose and out of the nose. However, like you need to take a deep breath in and exhale through an open mouth, give yourself permission to do that. Bring the arms up overhead and stretch from your fingertips to your toes. And then bring the arms out like airplane wings and bend your knees. And allow your knees to gently roll over to the left. And then bring the knees up and allow them to go over to the right. Breathe mindfully. And the knees up towards the center, and the knees to the chest, hands to the knees, and rock side to side. Bring your feet together touching and your hands together touching. A little cricket, rub your hands and feet together, waking up the nadis on the hands and the feet, stimulating the feet. And then bring the knees towards the chest, hands to the knees. And if you're comfortable, take a few rock and rolls. If you're comfortable rocking and rolling, do that. If rocking and rolling is not for you, then just bend the knees, feet to the floor, and roll to your right side and rest there. And then pressing yourself up or rocking and rolling up to a seated position. We'll end with 3 long Satnams. Truth is my identity. Satnam, truth is my identity. Bring the hands together, rub them first, and then thumbs to the chest, elongate your spine. Engage the bandhas to help sustain the length of the spine and the energy of the body. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Sat Nam. Inhaling. Sat Nam. One more. Sat Nam. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Namaste. All right. I unmuted you if you would like to mute yourself. Again, I think you're unmuted. You could always mute yourself again. I'm going to pull my chair around and adjust the camera and everything. See what's going on here. Got some stuff in chat, so I want to check that out. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay. All right. So, how are we doing?
Good.
Good. Good.
Yeah, that was really great.
Who was that? Jenny? Who was that? Thank you. It's very different than good morning. Glad to be here. All right. So wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and pull up PowerPoint and make sure that we can get a good screen share. And then after that, I'll open it up because I want to give you all just a little time to sit with it, right? Like to just be with the practice. And then I'm going to open it up for questions because I'm sure you probably have some. Trying to adjust the light. Okay. Adjust the light. All right, I'm coming. I'm getting it. I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm curious, can you see this? Anybody can give me a thumbs up if they can see it. Thumbs up? Okay, I've got some thumbs up. So I'm trusting that you can see the screen that says all things Kundalini. All right. So here's our outline. Here's some things that we're going to go over. We just experienced the practice of Kundalini, and now we're going to move on to understanding the age of Aquarius. Now, one of the things about the Kundalini method, and a big reason why I got into it in 2011, was that I was told by some other teachers and friends that this would be the yoga of the Aquarian age. Now, we're now living in the Aquarian age. The previous age was called the Piscean age. It was ruled by competition, mask, and ambitions, to prove yourself, to be something. It was a very rigid time. People looked outside of themselves for the answers. They separated themselves from each other in spiritual beingness. The motto was to be or not to be, and great knowledge about human potential and energy was guarded by secrecy and layered with initiations. This created the illusion of I have the power, and very much that your loss, my gain kind of a mindset. Now, Yogi Bhajan began speaking about the Aquarian age in the late 60s and early 70s to start preparing his students to befriend and know and trust the teacher within. The transition of the Aquarian age began November of 1991 and ended November of 2011, 11/11. Some of you may recall the big hadir around 11/11. And now humankind will be in the Aquarian age for about the next 2,000 years, a little less since it's started. Now you yourself are the teacher and the pupil, you're the master, you're the guru, you are the leader, you are everything, and to understand is to transform what is. That's from Jiddu Krishnamurti. So we're very much in this time where, and sometimes you might even hear people say that, you know, the guru is no more. There's no more this need to look outside of ourselves for understanding. Now, in the Aquarian age, there are no secrets. Now, you can attest to this if you watch the news, how many whistleblowers we have now and how much information comes out. Information is readily available to us and secrets can no longer be hidden. It's a time to come clean and heal our secrets from the past, the present, and create a self-realized future. We are self-informed now. We are more sensitive. We are more aware. This is an era of awareness, information, and energy, and compassion and connection are the keys. You know, we've seen it through this pandemic that we're in, the compassion of people. And you can also, when you're aware of the age we're in, and that's very much a part of when you start to study even the Yoga Sutras, it's in the Yoga Sutras for the yogi to have a good understanding of the cosmos and the planets and what is going on out there, because it does affect us on Earth. Now, the motto for the Aquarian age is be to be, realizing that we are already something. I think is so beautiful that just by simply being, we're there. Be to be. There's an understanding of oneness, a collective. We can tune into the continuum, to the universe, to the cosmos, to our inner being, and to each other. Being right just to prove another wrong, to have power over others, is fading away. In the Aquarian age, duality just won't work. We're moving from that kind of existence into non-duality. And I know that you probably, and if you tune into Michelle a lot, she talks about that. It's coming along. No longer do we need to look outside of ourselves. The guru is within. 5 sutras for the Aquarian age. Yogi Bhajan, the founder of Kundalini Research Institute, if you don't already know that, he founded Kundalini Research Institute, and my presentation is based on his research. Okay, and also, if I've pulled it from any place else, I'll let you know. Even though Yogi Bhajan is no longer with us, there's still a lot of research being done on the technology of Kundalini. He's the person that brought Kundalini to the West. Here's the 5 sutras. Recognize the other person is you. There is a way through every block. When time is on you, start and the pressure will be off. Understand through compassion or you will misunderstand the times. Vibrate the cosmos will clear a path. So for me, in my experience in recognizing these sutras, when Michelle asked me about presenting this weekend, I thought of the sutras and I thought, all I have to do is start and the pressure will be off. And I have experienced through this teacher training and with you all so much compassion for each other and really meeting people where they're at, teaching from where you're at, and also this lovely affiliation, recognizing that the other person is you. It's really a neat concept. If you are willing to look at another person's behavior towards you as a reflection of the state of their relationship with themselves rather than a statement about your value as a person, then you will, over a period of time, cease to react at all. It's from Hari Bhajan seeing Yogi, but that's actually a picture of Yogi Bhajan. Kundalini Yoga is a personal relationship. That is the reason why when I was visiting with Michelle about the presentation, I wanted to first teach a class so that together we could experience the Kundalini method, the practice. Yoga is essentially a relationship of bonding. The word derives from words like yoke, to join together, to unite. A yogic relationship creates an understanding of oneself. Through personal experience comes wisdom and inner knowing, and it doesn't need to be explained to anyone. Instead, it can be explored and cultivated at one's own pace and comfort level. Kundalini yoga is coined the householder's yoga. Now you have to keep in mind that in the beginning, when yoga was first, brought about, it wasn't shared. It was in that Piscean age, very much that Piscean age where there had to be initiations. It was guarded. It was kept very secret. And just recently has it really started to come out. So Kundalini being the householder's yoga, this is an opportunity for the everyday Joe to experience this technology, this system of yoga and all its facets, meaning chanting, breathing, mudra, mantra, the kriyas, the exercises, the postures that we practice. Intuition and inner guidance are invaluable allies. Yoga teachers and students can share wisdom from their hearts and personal experience. When we release the need to be right or to be better, then we shift from being competitive and we move into a mindset of accepting what is, be to be. Knowledge becomes wisdom when you experience it with your own heart and being. When it becomes your personal experience. And that's when it becomes your personal experience. That's from Yogi Bhajan. So, does anyone have any questions up to this point or anything you'd like to add or bring it in? I believe you're still muted, so be sure to unmute yourself. Let's see, I can't see with the screen share, I'm not able to see a chat. So if you're putting anything into chat, that's why I'm not able to see that. Let me see if I can move this about. It's taken me out of that.
Someone asked if there were notes we could go back to.
Notes that we could go back to. In what way? Like from the presentation about the Aquarian age or the sutras?
Yeah, it was just in the chat. I was just reading in the chat. So maybe that person would like to ask specifically.
Yeah, that was me. I was curious if you had notes that we could go back to, like all of these screens that you're putting on. I was trying to screenshot them so I could go back through.
Okay, all right. What I can do is I can probably send it out or post it or get back to that so that you can take a screenshot. But is this Charlene that I'm talking to?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Charlene, what I'll do is let me make a note of it and we'll make sure that you get the information that you're looking for.
Okay.
Because I realize I'm trying to read slow and take it all in, but I'm so, when you're familiar with it, and I've read these a lot,
Yes.
but I definitely want you to have the information, love. Yes, I do.
Yeah, it would be wonderful to let it marinate, and.
Oh, yeah. Especially, I'll tell you, there's information out there about the Aquarian age. And since it is the age that we're living in right now, it's a very interesting read just to Google.
Yeah.
It will pull up a lot of Kundalini information. But as we start to understand the shifts and the time that we are living in, this age, it really helps us understand what we can do to live in more ease. in this age, because we can look, you can watch the news and you can see how it's shifting, right? This stuff that I'm reading, can you see it? Right?
Definitely. Yeah.
It's definitely there. So Charlene, I'm writing your name down.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is Carrie Molesky. I would actually like a copy of the slides too, please.
Okay. I'm sure we'll be able to work that out.
Thank you.
Thank you, loves. Anything else? Keep going on.
I have a question.
You do? Okay.
Yes. This rapid breathing that you go through with the different poses, could it be dangerous for anybody that has, I don't know?
I can't hear you that well, but I believed you asked if the rapid breathing could be dangerous.
Yes.
You wouldn't want to practice it whenever you're pregnant or menstruating, or if your stomach is really full. We are going to talk more about the breath of fire later on in the presentation. I'm going to go over that in greater detail. The only danger would be that you would want to make sure that you don't hyperventilate. So that's where the inhale is passive. You wouldn't want to practice it in such a way that it was like this, because that's both an active inhalation and active exhalation, and that could cause hyperventilation.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And we are going to cover that later on down in the presentation, a whole segment on breath of fire.
Okay.
What I've done, so that you all know, is we're just together over the weekend, and Kundalini is very vast. There's a lot of information about Kundalini yoga, just like yoga in general, right? Lots. And so what I did was I thought about the components of a class and what you experience in the class, and we're going to touch on all that. We're going to touch on the chant, Ag Namo Guru Dev Namo. We're going to touch on chanting, mudras, eye gaze, the breath of fire, all that. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.